Having sandals in a snowy mountain is very bad. Would not recommend. Just saying. Both wings as sharp as blades. Alright, Finch, when do you get in this game? Although I wouldn't say you're very sharp. But that's just me. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. In the last episode, we arrived here in Gran Dell, and now we've got some context as to why everyone is so separate throughout the bion on his shoulder. But now, here we are, we say ho ho, and we now talk to the random NPCs in which we have scattered around.
Welcome.
I think there's a certain warmth to objects made by hand. Some people say you can tell a lot of the maker's personality by their work. I wonder what mine says about me.
I'd say it's very binary. It's by the numbers. But that's just me. Anyway, though, we are just going to go off and just explore Gran Dell for a bit, even though the pointer is staring us right in the face. But hey, what fun is that?
Yeah.
What's the point of an RPG if you can't go off the beaten path and just enjoy yourself? I mean, come on. What's the matter with you lot if you're like that?
All right.
Huh? You want something from me? Your faces kind of have that look. Right, I see. That sounds rough. And you came from Companion's Cape, then. Huh. I've got a question for you. On your way to Gran Dell, did you come across any hard-looking rock or rare materials or anything like that?
We came across ether deposits.
Yep, let's do that. Yeah, I know all about those. We have a few of them in Gran Dell as well. We've actually taken one. Well, still, thanks for telling me about that. I've got something to talk to you about as well, if that's okay. Right, so I'm currently making tools for those fixing and expanding the ramparts, and I'd like to make them stronger. That's why I've been asking after better materials. Well, actually, I've got an idea, but I'll need the catalyst to make it work. I'm not tough enough to track it down by myself, but since you all kind of know about materials, I figured you'd know. So now I think about it, couldn't I just ask you all to get and bring it to me? That'd be easier, right? The catalyst I want you to use is found near the Barra Ruins Cave. It's a stone people call the Cerulean Shard. As for your rewards, I could upgrade any tools you're carrying while I'm working on mine. I can work with anything, like, for example, that ether pick I got there. How about it? I bet I could strengthen it to improve the output so you can mine better stuff. Not too shabby, eh? I was hoping you'd say that. If you're really glad you just happened to walk right by, well, then let me stop you. I'll be waiting. So, this is the way in which we improve things. We have literally got to craft things up, I suppose. And you know what? I kind of like that aspect about it.
Yeah.
It's in the same vein, but not quite the same as what normal games do nowadays, where it's all crafting and everything else like that. I don't know. Playing so many modern games that have that mechanic gets very tiresome. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was nice and cool back in the early 2000s and 2010s, but since I would say welcome. It's like how for a long period of time a lot of games were open world, and so many it just becomes samey.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the irony of playing this game and making that statement, but hey, it's different. With so many AI partners jumping and just doing non-stop, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Spessing up on soldiers. And how far are we going up? We going up to the very top of Gran Dell? I suppose we are. We're going where no one has ever gone before. Kino. This is, and it looks like secret areas are still a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad. Although watching that, it's like watching a bunny rabbit trying to trying to go up Everest.
I don't know why. I just find amusement in Nene's "oh."
Ah, Jesus.
Just jumping along, and in the backgrounds, I hear "oh."
You know, and Kino just trips and falls in his face. You know you've done a good small thing if you're able to make my wife giggle like that. Good on you, Monolith, even though you probably had no idea that was a thing. Anyway, though, while we're here, got quite a good view. I was gonna say we could do a quiet moment, but I guess the game said no. You can't get over Nene, can you?
Just the distant "oh," just really quiet.
She's silently having epiphanies, okay? Aha! I have an idea. Multiple ideas. Again, it's the small things that matter. I just seen the convoy of just jumping up on. It's kind of funny to me too.
Yeah.
I can't lie. And even though I know it's because it would get annoying over and over again, but I kind of morbidly wish that each of them had like jumping sounds. She'd go hep 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 hep, and we've got 12 of them.
Are you perchance Radzam?
Yeah, that's me. How do you know my name?
Teelan mentioned you. You are his fellow researcher.
Oh, I see. Teelan sent you. Him and Tyree are still getting on okay?
Quite. Though she did give him a good scolding earlier.
Went to Alchemoth again, did he? I did warn him not to be reckless. But when it comes to his research, that boy has tunnel vision. To be honest, so does Tyree.
Does she come here much as well?
No, hardly ever. She's even more focused on the work than Teelan. I couldn't begin to guess why she's so driven.
It must be about her mother after all.
Radzam, we have questions. About the Fog King.
I see. That's why you're so curious.
We need more to go on. What can you tell us?
Because of the Telethia's ether field, the Fog King and his fog beasts seem, well, unable to escape Alchemoth.
Ether field?
Yeah. It's the means by which Telethia eliminate any excess ether that they absorb. Now, the Fog King and his beasts happen to give off an awful lot of ether.
I see. So all Telethia in the vicinity flock there, to feed on the ether. And, as a result, keep the threat contained.
Oh, this hot noggin of Kino. It get worse if not shut up.
But my ether, it worked against fog beasts, but not the Fog King. Or rather, it didn't even seem to make direct contact with him.
Shulk, Melia, would you do me a favor and head to Teelan's lab, borrow his Telethia research notes for me?
Sure, we can do that for you.
There's something I'd like to look up about the Telethia's ether field.
Understood.
On another note, we heard that you spoke out against the Companions.
I voiced an opinion, yes. I can understand their impatience. Their ancestral home was right there. However, I couldn't abide watching them throw away more lives for nothing.
Nothing. Sounds quite stark.
At first, there were hundreds of us living here. But now, well, you've seen for yourselves.
And all because of the Fog King.
Yeah. So I think you can see why I said what I said. If we end up extinct, will have won nothing.
Well spoken. But I'm sure the companions would find those words hard to swallow. I'm sorry. Your people are no more free to go home than we are.
No need for you to apologize, Melia. In truth, it's not costing me any sleep. They seem to be catching on too. After all, they've stayed put since then.
When you put it like that. The people of Gran Dell, they're living under considerable strain, not knowing what became of their homes, and with no means of return.
But that's also true of Maxis. His people lost their homes too.
Yes, but they're feeling desperate, and it's making them unreasonable.
It too sad.
We were like that too once, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
That true?
But we learned, eventually. All because we wanted to protect the world. And we made that dream a reality. We brought down Zanza.
Overcoming our prejudice gave us strength in unity, because we shared a goal.
Radzam's folk, the companions, and us as well. We all share the same goal.
Defeating the Fog King and returning home.
Sounds like job for Hero Punkino. Just let Nene at him.
Thank you, everyone.
Mama, what that thing?
Is that...
It's like the one we saw in Alchemoth, but much, much larger.
You're right.
Shulk, let's see if we can get closer.
Yeah.
Well, that's not foreboding. A massive hole in the sky.
Yeah, it gives me Ganon vibes.
Yep. And also, it's a small thing, but can I just say it's kind of a piss like how you walked all the way up here, like what, a few minutes ago, and then it just drops you off halfway up. Like, hey, it's easier to get to now. Like, thanks, game. We do the hard part first, and you give us an easier way after the fact.
I don't mind. I like a good climb.
Look, Ryan's not here, okay? Give it a break. And if you are going to be like Ryan, aren't you going to go back on that statement a couple of hours from now? Just saying. Probably the best comparison. Kino just broke his head on a tent.
What is it?
I want somebody to hear my woes. If only someone around here knew about machines, they'd understand my concerns, surely.
Wow. Basic get dunked Kino.
What is it?
Oh, can I help you?
I'm sorry to bother you. I saw those mechanical parts and I figured we might be able to use them to fix junks.
I'm sorry to disappoint, but everything you see here is little more than scrap. Can you tell me what parts you're looking for specifically?
We need wiring to link up the generator and the drive system, as well as something to reinforce the hull.
Sounds rather complicated. That said, I do have an inkling. You've seen high-end airships before, right? Well, there are a few crashed ones in Alchemoth just lying there.
And you think we could strip them for parts?
Just so. Although I don't know what state they're in, you'll have to go and work that out for yourselves.
Right. I see.
I won't have investigated them myself, but everyone else warned me off, saying it's too dangerous, so I relented. Still, from what I remember of my preliminary study, I think there should be 3 of the machines left.
Understood. Thank you for sharing the information with us.
Oh, one moment. I may have a request to go with all that. There are actually some parts I need too. Would you mind terribly finding them for me and bringing them back all together?
Of course, that's no problem at all. What kind of parts are you after?
I'm so glad to hear you ask. What I need is a palm-sized cog.
Understood. We'll keep our eyes out for one of those.
I'm counting on you.
No problem. Leave it to me. Okay, that's a bit of a weird side quest, because wasn't the first initial, like, once we landed, I say landed, more like crashed here, was like, hey, Alchemov, we could use the parts in there. That pretty much just reiterated the fact.
Yeah.
It's a bit awkward, but you know, I guess it makes sense. It gives us another inkling on what we're going for.
I don't mind. It seems to be like a show-focused side quest.
Will we get another branch, or are we gonna have to regrow that branch per se? seeing how a lot of us have now retracted some of the things we learned.
Yeah, like we're level 60 suddenly.
Yeah, it's like, hey, guess what? We were level 99 after killing a dragon, but now we're like level 60s. I guess you lose 30 levels in a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh my god, look at this place. It's so goddamn expansive.
Yeah. It's like Breath of the Wild. What are the odds there's going to be a unique monster on that island over there?
I say call it 50-50. Okay, I'm gonna lie, I thought that was Ernest and I said, what?
I thought it was a giant turkin.
What?
It looked like it from the bridge, because you could hardly see him.
Watching the lake, I can feel myself getting more and more at peace. The water's flowing, and then before I know it, all my thoughts, and all that's left is this lightness. Okay, well, I thought that I saw a human. You thought you saw a monster. Okay, I know where your mind wanders. My God, I'm learning more and more about you each day.
What do you mean? This is a new Xenoblade game, so of course I'm going to be a bit wary of monsters.
I don't think a random Turkian is just going to be walking around, you know.
I mean, to be fair, they did say that they don't let monsters in, so I shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Yes. Ish. Unless you find like a hidden alcove, and then guess what? You're gonna die. Seems like it's all nice and peaceful, but that's where exactly a unique monster is gonna be hiding.
Yeah, like the gentle mother.
This is such a big and expansive area that of course they're gonna have 1 or 2 unique monsters hiding. Well, it seems like we have another pond spectre surrounded by flammies and... See? Oh, we saw that. Look, you're right. What did I say? What did I bloody say?
I knew it.
What did I bloody say? This game is treacherous.
Yeah.
This game knows no bounds. Monolith, you have not lost that jerkishness you have. Well, either way, Poro Poro's favorites, because what else would it be?
Poro sure has a lot of favorites.
Where is this Poro? I must meet him, and how many things has he dropped? Poro running for life all over place. You done exploring? You done exploring?
I just thought I saw a quiet time, but it was further away than I thought.
There you go. Still though, it is always nice. It is always nice to just lay back and listen to the atmosphere. Also, like how they say, I like how they say they keep critters out, but caterpillars and anthills are somehow okay.
And a unique flammy.
Well, let's face it, the flammy kind of floating out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere.
What is you with quoting Ryan so much this episode?
I miss him!
Well, that got passionate really quickly.
Shook, looky look. Plenty of trees growing.
Looks like this area isn't very heavily cultivated. That might be why nature runs so rampant.
Big step for Nopon. Kino make this into Frontier Village Mark II.
Frontier Village, huh? I was amazed first time I saw it. All the pollen factories, built into that giant tree.
Nopon never use metal if can be helped. Except for Sisterpon, who like use hom-hom shields very much.
Oh, right. It's true, though. Ricky never did use a metal weapon. It looked more like a fruit of some kind.
Kino here, this is actually gumberry that store ether within. Kino just make it suck in ether, and then it shoot out contents like real rifle.
Is that right? I'm not sure I've ever seen a berry that big before.
Indeedy. Kino never see one lying around before, that for sure.
The plants that bear them must be very rare. I knew biters, but I didn't know you had curiosities like these.
Well, biter's still more popular. Little Pond Kino also wants to use biter, but no beef on wings, so could not carry properly. But then, when Kino gets in big sulk, Dadapon go and pick gumberry from somewhere.
Ricky did. So he can be a model father. I'm impressed.
Yes, Dadapon is true hero pon. This weapon only used now by Nopon 2 Wimpy to hold biter, but Dadapon was first one to discover. Everyone jumped for happy when introduced.
Ricky is a man of many talents, huh? A true hero pon indeed.
Dadapon say he gets idea for making into weapon from hom-hom gun.
Inspired by a Hom's gun. Ah, Charla's ether rifle then. Though if he was going to make weapons, I would have been happy to help him out.
How about if Shulk give Kino pointers? Kino still not always hit target.
Pointers, eh? From what I saw, though, it seemed like you knew your stuff.
Kino also thinks so, but still sometimes miss.
Right. Then maybe you'd best learn how to properly handle the weapon.
Properly how?
Am I right to assume you've never really had proper training?
How's Shulk knowing of that? Kino's state of shock.
I reckon the weapon's more beat up than it should be. You don't want that. More prone to malfunctions.
What Kino should do?
It's important to be as careful as possible. Handle it too roughly, and you could end up warping the grip. If the aim is a little off, it could potentially be because of that.
How Shulk knows such things? Kino never figure out in a million years.
I've always liked tinkering with weapons. Even made my friend Ryan's weapon, in fact. That'll be why. If you need a weapon maintained, I'm your guy.
Shulk really second most awesome after Dadapon. Tell Kino more.
All right. But for now, let's reinforce this to help with your aim. In return, could you perhaps share some more stories?
Kino like that deal.
God. Every single one of these I love.
It would have been a nice touch if Kino received like an ether +2 or something like that after that cutscene.
Or like a better weapon, or just maybe improvements to the one, but I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna come in time, but man, they're adding as much content that they can with each character. And and it enhances both existing and past characters. And I know it's probably to supplement the fact that a lot of characters like Ryan, Charlotte, and Dunban probably aren't going to be part of this expansion, and that is indeed a crying shame. But my god, they're at least doing something with it, and doing it well.
Yeah.
God. I'm sorry if this has been the same tone that each episode has ended on, but again, what this Let's Play is of Future Connected, it's just like all raw opinions. No plan, no prep, just experiencing everything for the first time. Whilst there is a sky anus.
Yeah, has that gotten bigger since we last looked at it, or is it just me?
Well, I think I know what we're doing next episode.
Because when we last looked at it, it didn't have smoke around it.
A matter of perspective. Well, I think on that note, we are gonna end things episode. End things episode. We are gonna end things here this episode, and we are going to see you next time, which we are going to go to the hole in the sky. Hopefully Kino can shoot at it. Maybe.
Ganon.
Gan Calamity King.
That's what it reminds me of.
King Ganon. Well, Monolith did it. Monolith did help make Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Swapping ideas, I love it. But anyway, guys, if you liked this episode, be sure to like it. If you didn't like it, well then, you can join the anus in the sky. But if you want to subscribe to see more content like this, then be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time. Also, I just realized now, you say you can go to the big anus in the sky is like implying you can go die in a hole. I apologize, did not mean to make it sound so aggressive.
Yeah, that thing's getting bigger.
Well, then, are we on the timer?
I hope not. I'm gonna save real quick just in case we are.
I wonder, if you left the game running for a few hours, would you just die? We're not going to test it out, guys, but we'll see you next time, where hopefully we don't die. See you then.